Okay, the next step is going to be the hills. We're going to be using medium brush. Okay, and we're going to be using the light green that you have in your kit with quite a bit of white for a pale grass green color for the hill in the distance. So we're going to start about a quarter of the way from the left of the canvas, kind of where the truck begins, so we don't have to paint over it all. And we're going to, of course, follow the line, the curve of the horizon. And then underneath, we're going to start wide and kind of curve up, kind of like a flag shape, a small flag shape for that topmost hill. And then we can fill that in. Kind of a uniform color right now. So if we grab just a little bit more of that grass green color and mix it in with what's on our brush, you don't have to clean off your brush, but just a slightly darker green, and we'll just kind of drag that color in at the top of the hill to add some contrast. Just a slightly darker green. And then if you get that dark green one more time on your brush, sorry, the grass green, but without lightening it with white, if you get that on your brush, and we can just kind of use a dabbing brush stroke, kind of uneven, to make kind of a little tree line in the background there. I'm just kind of using the vertical edge of my brush. I'm just using a dabbing tree line, and I'm going to go over the base with that nice contrast. Okay, so now you do have a really dark green on your palette. You can go ahead and get a little bit of that on your brush and mix it with the grass green. I haven't washed my brush and I'm still using medium brush, but I'm just adding a little bit of that dark green to the light green. And our next hill, we're gonna follow the bottom line of this hill. And then we're going to make just kind of a 2-inch thick swatch of grass right there in this slightly darker color, mixing the two greens, and fill that in. Okay. And if you add a little bit more dark green than you mixed for that second hill on your brush, we're going to use the same brush stroke to kind of make that little tree line right there between the two hills. Once you have that tree line in, you can go over the base so you don't have the bottom of that brush stroke there. All right, then we're going to add a little more of that darker phthalo green, about the color of your second tree line. Once you have that shade, go ahead and throw in a little bit of white just for a different shade. So you almost have a more seafoam green. Once you add the white in, this is the color I'm using. And then we're going to paint just the bottom hill is going to be kind of round. You can kind of just go over the bottom edge of that one hill and just make a nice round hill on bottom there. Add a little bit more white in as you fill in the bottom of the hill to what you have on your brush there. So you kind of have 3 hills of different color. You fill the sky in. And we'll move on to the clouds in the next step.